makes sense when you think about the geography of Cape Cod, sticking out there, the most eastern part of the east coast of the United States, maybe except for some parts of Maine, but really jutting out there, and you've got the Cape Cod Bay that they get caught in, right?
If you
Isn't that what
think
happens?
if you think of it, Phil, it's, Cape Cod is still an accident of nature for these species who have been around for millions of years. The turtles, for instance. Cape Cod has been out there for about 15,000 years, ever since the retreat of the glaciers.
Right.
So it's a new event, and as you say, we're stuck out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, just like a big hook. And so as they're heading south, particularly in the fall for these sea turtles, they get seduced into coming into Cape Cod Bay because it's nice and warm and shallow. And by the time they get cued to head south again, the Atlantic Ocean has gotten so cold that they can't survive. So they're stuck in Cape Cod Bay.
Right.
And as you suggested earlier, the bulk of the turtles that we rescue each fall on our beaches are the rarest sea turtles in the world, Kemp's Ridleys. We're down to just a few thousand of them left in the world. And so if we can return 30 or 40 or 50 a year back into the population, it has an enormous environmental impact in saving these species.
Absolutely. We've got some interesting footage that I'd like to go to in a moment if we can cue that up. Don, why don't you tell us about this footage?
Sure. And as also you suggested, it's not just the turtles that get trapped in Cape Cod Bay. The marine mammals, they get tricked by these 15-foot tidal swings that we have. They follow bait fish up into the marsh channels and to the estuaries, and when the tide drops out from under them, they end up getting trapped and stranded. And these are dolphins and porpoises and pilot whales. In July of 2002, we had a major stranding event on Cape Cod. It started in Dennis the day before, when something in the order of 46 pilot whales stranded, and then it continued the next day in Wellfleet. They were released from Dennis, they got off the beach, and then they stranded the next day in Wellfleet. Do we have an opportunity to roll the...
We're ready to roll, so why don't we roll this footage, and this is of some stranding footage.
And it's a stranding event, this occurred, this is the second day in Wellfleet Bay. It's just south of Lieutenant Island, and 43 pilot whales. Some of them were big male bulls up to 3 tons. Some of them were females, maybe 1.5 tons, and a couple of them, Phil, and they're the ones that break your heart, and we're going to see a little bit of it. They were calves that were probably 4 months, 6 months old. They weighed about 225, 250 pounds. And you're going to see them nuzzling up to their moms because they don't know what's happening, and the tide is falling. And the fact of the matter is we had then, no place to put them. If we were to rescue these animals off the beach, there is no local facility where they could be treated, where they could be rehabilitated. And it is one of the reasons why I'm working with Kathy now in trying to get this facility. Here's the mom and her calf that we can see right here. And you'll notice as she, her mom is sort of stuck in the mud, but she's still able to swim around, and she nuzzles her mom. She wants to know, what's going on, Mom? What's happening? And it is the tragedy of where we are and the fact that there are no facilities available where we have no alternative with these animals.
That's heartbreaking.
Other than euthanize them.
Well, and especially, obviously, you wouldn't have, even with the facility, be able to take all 46 of them, but you could grab some of the calves.
Exactly.
At least,
some of the large bulls are impossible to save, but some. And
stark reality there. It's a little graphic, and for those of you that may be upset by that, I want you to maybe think about why that makes you upset, and maybe it will inspire you to help this organization have a place to take these animals, because it is disturbing, especially for children. If they see that, they they don't understand what's going on maybe, and they wonder why they can't be saved and can't we do something. And the reality is that, like you say, there really is not a lot of this out there. And
there's not a lot of facilities, but we can do something.
but now we've got some
exactly
options coming down the way.
We do indeed.
And even actually up and running.